Hey guys, today let's see how to draw contour lines, your first steps. So I'm chou-tac, so welcome to the designsketchbook.com, and before getting started I would like to invite you to download the designer starter kit, and you can get the link in the description below. So to get started what I like to do is to draw in red what is not recommended or what you shouldn't do. So first of all, we are going to draw a plain volume right here without contour lines. So basically what I draw is in perspective of 3D volumes. That looks like a box. And basically here I got draw the outlines, and here I'm bolding up a little bit to give it a bit more charisma to this sketch. So remember to draw the ghost drawing right here, and if you don't have any notion of perspective, once again feel free to download the designer starter kit. I'm going to explain to you step by steps how to draw a box in perspective from different angles. Alright, as you can see here, so you have in red a plain volume, and which is something that actually is missing of kind of charisma, that I would say. And what we will do here in blue is the same volume but with the contour lines. So I got left the speed of the video to 1, so I didn't speed up the video, so you can see basically how you can take your time when you draw actually. So I'm doing here the same box right here, bolding a little bit here. So it's like the usual steps of drawing, like you just take your time, you draw the outlines very light, and then you bold to make it more pop up to your sketch. Okay. As you can see, but by just adding this little bold line below, make it more heavy for this little 3D volume that was just drawn with some light lines. And there's some few more tricks to know about how to make your sketch more real, and I'm going to create some more tutorials for you guys in some separate videos. And because the great way is when you play at assembling them all together. Alright, so here I'm drawing the contour lines. It's basically that I'm thinking that I'm cutting this volume in half, and this is how like you will help your visualization, like your brain, to better understand the volume of this box. And it's really give you like the impression that this volume has more texture somehow, and it took like just few minutes, like just like 2 seconds to create it. And just remember to draw the contour lines very light. So as you can see, now you got a solid volume. What was just plain, like something which was very like wireframe, become a solid volume, something which has more weights once again. So now let's see how you can draw a hole inside this box to level up this exercise and to make it even more fun. So I took back my red pen here, actually my fuchsia color. So I'm going to draw a small surface right here, a small box. And what I will draw is on top of it an ellipse. And as you can see here, we are not using any contour lines, and this is how like you don't really know what the ellipse come from. Is it a hole? Is it like a groove? You don't really understand what's going on here. Like, is it flat? And this is why we are going to need here the usage of contour lines. So here we go in blue, the same box. And what we will do here is going to draw the hole inside, in the middle of this box. So now I'm adding the same contour line as previous on top of this ellipse. Very light once again. And we are going to use these contour lines as a guide. I'm creating this below ellipse to make sure that we see in transparency for this hole. And now I just need to connect like the top surface to the bottom surface. As you remember, use the guide of the contour lines to create that. Now I bold the surface contour line that are on the surface. Here we go. So always use them as a guide, so it makes sure that you are doing something which is neat. I bold a little bit more, and can you feel like how much more product feel you have with these contour lines and this little bit of bold? This is just two simple techniques, but it can give you actually a big amount of confidence when you're going to draw, because you will realize that your sketch actually have something which is more realistic and something more tangible. So here we go for this green arrow, which is going to help me to show you that there is a hole going through inside this volume. So this is an optical illusion that we have right here, and when you can do that with this contour line, it's pretty powerful. And feel free to use contour line at the beginning, like more than needed, and with experience you will see when you need it, when you don't want them, and so on. But for now, draw the maximum number of 3D volume of boxes and add in some contour lines like that, like you're cutting this volume by half. So half on one direction, half on the other, so you have 4 quarters. Alright, so you always start the guidelines with the contour lines. We will start line lines, and then only you can bold on what is going to interest you, what you want to keep, what you want to show to people when they look at your sketches, because you are the one to decide what they want to see. Like, is it like on the surface is going to be a hole, or if you wonder, it's the question like, is it going to be flat? But you want them to do not ask questions of themselves. You should solve the problem for them. Alright, so we see now here how to draw a bump on your surface. So we are not going to go through the volume, but just feeling that there's a bit of wave inside. So now it's time to draw a bump on this surface. So we start as usual with the contour lines, and then use them as a guide to pull down the surface. There we go. So making sure that you have drawn the guideline first of the contour lines, make sure that when the lines goes in the surface and out of the surface, that is following the same line. It's going to follow the same perspective as well. Okay? So the first step is to have light lines, and this is what is going to help you to create the guides. And the second right here, so what we are going to do is to take care of the surface by pulling down the light lines. Yeah, and then you just imagine that the surface has been pulled down. Now we are going to do the same, but with a surface that is going to be pulled up. So we draw a quick surface right here with this 4 stroke, then the guidelines, the contour lines. There we go. That's it. And from here, you can actually create the form that you want. That's it. Pretty simple, right? So you can try many from different directions as well. And if you still struggle with perspective, once again, you can follow step by step with the designer starter kit that you can download on the blog. Okay, so it's pretty psychological. Think that you are pulling down the surface using these guidelines, and the other one you are pulling up. So a little bit of structures will help you actually to make a lot more better sketches. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'm going to create some more tips and tricks to help you guys to create some product sketches that are going to be more real. And feel free to visit more videos on the blog, and see you for the next videos. Bye bye.